Okay. My name is James Simmons. I'm a part of Justice Warriors for Black Lives. I'm also a part of the National Conference of Black Lawyers, organization created in 1968 as the legal arm of the Black Revolution. I'm a professor at Cal State Northridge in the Africana Studies Department. I teach American political institutions amongst other classes. I have taught law at People's College of Law, where I graduated. Been an attorney since 1992. And I've represented some of the organizations here, as well as other organizations, including the Revolutionary Communist Party, those guys over there in the black Revolution t-shirts, the Black Riders Liberation Party, and had to deal very forcefully with the leader of the Black Riders Liberation Party for offenses against people. Members of the Black Liberation Army, members of some anarchist collectives, a young man accused of attempting to bomb Hitler's birthday party in Orange County. Hitler, the right-wing Nazis were trying to have a birthday party at the Moose Lodge, and he was accused of attempting to burn it, even though the police had been following him all day and knew that they weren't going to have the party and that he wasn't going to bomb it. But they prosecuted him anyway. I represented members of Black Lives Matter at various times. Represented members of Ansar al-Mohammed, who accused a terrorist organization, and other people, national and international, accused of terrorism, as well as members of so-called gang organizations, both in criminal court and in civil court against injunctions. One of the things I do and have done is do Know Your Rights workshops, because I act as a legal observer. And today I was acting as a legal observer for Justice Warriors for Black Lives. Jill here is an excellent resource in terms of understanding what it takes to be a legal observer. I've trained under her, and but I've had experience since about I could say at least 84, maybe even before that. I've done legal observing. Someone said, well, what can you do when people are so emotional? How do you prepare? And what do you do when you have a situation like this? Well, of course, I can't take any pictures because the police might try to seize my phone and take the pictures. And definitely the pictures cannot be published because they would be inculpatory. I mean, like showing some guilt. So what normally happens, you don't try to address the situation at the scene, and don't try to gain knowledge at the scene like we're doing here. After it's over, you try to get it beforehand. Like, what can you and what can't you do? And whether or not you do it, that's up to you. I got a call one time about some people who wanted to board a boat, a group that was worried about damage to the ecological system of the ocean, and they wanted to board the boat. Well, you know, that's piracy. That could lead to all kinds of charges. Do it or not, but if you do it, this is what you're facing. So you want to tear up and burn up a flag that you brought with you? Yeah, you can do that. I'm just going to tell you one way or the other what might happen if you do. You might want to sit down on the freeway. And it was funny because when that happened a few years ago, Nana Jumpy and with the Justice Warriors and I met her at the Highway Patrol Station. She was at the Highway Patrol Station trying to make sure that people were released. And I had a long list. but understand mean. And so those people on the freeway, they were arrested on felony charges. Well, they said, how could it be felony? We were sitting down. Some people drew with spray chalk on the freeway. Well, that was enough to get them charged with a felony. They were going to stay in jail until trial or bail out, spend thousands of dollars bailing out. So if you want to do it, fine. You want to draw on the sidewalk? Fine. Just understand what can happen to you if you do. What can happen if you want to rip flags off of trucks? What could that mean? And as an example, I want to talk about what just happened here. And if someone wants to take a flag off a truck and they have to physically jump on the truck and tear it off, that's not just taking a flag, that's robbery. That's a felony. Use of force to take property is robbery. So you can be charged with a felony and go to state prison. You'll never be able to legally own a firearm again. You'll have to register, spend time in the belly of the beast, being enslaved. So just understand what you're doing before you do it. Burning a flag, that's arson. You burn all the flags you want, but understand, if you burn the flag, that you might be charged with arson. There was a situation at the first Iraq War. There was a demonstration on Leimert Park, and they were going to burn a flag. And I suggested strongly that people not burn the flag because it could be a felony. And said, "Oh, you try to protect the flag." I said, "No. I'll give you the knife to start cutting it up so you can disrespect the flag, tear the flag up, spit on it, pee on it, whatever." I think unnecessarily to felony charges, because there's always an alternative. And bring your own flag, but to put yourself in prison for a moment of emotional satisfaction, yeah, we got the flag, I think is kind of foolhardy. Understand what it means to stand in the street. If you're willing to take that, then fine. A lot of times, and if that's what you want to do, sometimes they require a license or a permit with insurance to take over a street. They don't want you to block the sidewalk. But if you do it, understand why you're doing it, and what the consequences could be. Some of the people, when they took over the freeway, they said, "Oh my God, felony! This is going to affect my teaching." I said, "Well, this is what you should have understood before you got out there, and not presume just because you have righteousness behind you doesn't mean that there's not going to be prison and stripping away of licenses and rights in the future." So when you have something like this and people start, I think, questionable political activity. In Berkeley, I think it was Berkeley, there was a demonstration and some people in the back started throwing bottles at the police. They were like, "Dude, stop throwing bottles at the police." And then someone said, "Oh, I know this dude, he's a cop." He was revealed to be a cop. He got busted upside the head with a brick or something, and then his partner pulled a gun. He was a cop too. So you don't know who you're dealing with. And when people do provocative things, whether they're immature or foolish politically, it could mean that you are walking into a trap. And you can do so many different creative things without subjecting yourself to these felony penalties. And that's what I'm most concerned with. I have a friend who went to the federal courthouse for an action. They linked arms, and the marshals, the federal police, broke her finger as they were trying to unhook her. You know, that was something that she did, and she understood the consequences of doing it. I had no problem with it, and she had a problem because she couldn't use her finger for one. But just understand and try to understand beforehand what your actions could mean for you. Whether you're going to get tossed out of school, if you have housing, whether you're going to get tossed out of housing, federally subsidized housing or state subsidized housing. Just understand. And then you make a decision from a place of knowledge, not from, you know, I want to do this because it feels good. I'm exhilarated because I've done something against
I was a member of the Southern California chapter of Black Panther Party, student nonviolent coordinator committee of Jonathan Jackson Education in 1972. Having been a member of the East Los Angeles. In front of a lot of people. This is a true story. In front of a lot of people said, you know what, we gave a good speech. But it's time for us to start killing police, right? By that time, we had become aware of agents of opportunity, people that start things, create confusion, and get a whole lot of people hurt. 3 years later, I'm working at the team post in the Imperial Court Project. I see this sheriff car pull up. They were part of what was called Special Enforcement Bureau, SEB. They used to wear leave the helmets in the back of the police car. Guess who gets out the passenger side of the car? This guy at East LA, when he was at East LA, said his name was Leland Atkins. He gets out the police car, sheriff's car. He didn't remember me or didn't want to remember me, but I remembered him. Now, had I listened to this man, let's go kill some police, let's get together, you probably wouldn't see me here. So we got to be aware. I'm not saying people are agents of opportunity. We got to be aware of how people do things and demonstrations like this and get a whole lot of people hurt and arrested for nothing. So be vigilant. Don't be paranoid, but be vigilant. Watch people like that. Sorry, James.
No, that's good. So, really, like I said, the time to figure out what you're going to do during a demonstration is before. So, does anybody have any questions about anything? You know, whether I talked about it or not?
Fuck Trump, right?
What are we talking about?
How you doing, man? I'll be a suggestion.
Like if you were the person that ripped the flag off and you're like there in the group of people, can they do anything to you?
Well, they can do anything. If you're not even near it, they might try to consider you an accessory or a co-conspirator. If you said anything to encourage it, a solicitor. Yes, they can do a lot. Whether they're going to be successful in doing it is something else. But in the meantime, you'll spend a lot of money and maybe some time in here.
Just if I was yelling, yeah, verdict.
Yeah, you know, again, that could be like in a lot of gang cases. You know, people will be with their homies, and all of a sudden they're lookouts, they're accessories, they're all kinds of things.
Like that. I don't give a fuck about diversity right now.
See, this guy, he's a provocateur, but not necessarily a police provocateur, but he's here with an American flag, setting himself up to get beat up.
Right.